I'm Doug Cooney. My play, The Final Tour, is being done as part of the 10-Minute Play Festival. And if you want to learn more about me, my work, and the play, The Final Tour, watch this video. I first fell in love with theater when I was a child, and I got to go to a theater and see, it was actually a ballet, Palia, that's kind of dark and fantastic, but I was dazzled. It was in a beautiful old playhouse with a scalloped curtain, and there was something about performance and storytelling on stage that took me away. And if there is a bug of theater, that's the day I got bit by the bug. When I was 8 or 9, I found an old Smith Corona typewriter in what was known as the locked closet in our house. We had 8 kids, and this locked closet was the closet where they kept things they didn't want broken. And I found this typewriter and carried it out and showed it to my mother, and she showed me how it worked, and I started plunking down on I went to Catholic school at the time, and I think I was determined to become a writer and a playwright because I wrote the classroom Christmas play when I was in the 2nd grade, and it was about the 3 kings coming to visit. And so that was the first play I wrote, and I guess I got a lot of praise and encouragement for it, and I just sort of assigned myself that role. When I was in my 20s, I had the opportunity to interview Edward Albee, and I asked him, "What's your process of writing plays?" And he was quite a wily cat, Edward Albee, and he said that he had the whole play thought through in his head, so that when he sat down to write it, it was merely typing, because it all existed fully formed in his head. Maybe that's the case. I do a lot of it happens, a lot of my creative process happens while I'm writing, and I will reject drafts and put drafts aside and come back to them, and I call it sandpapering. It can sometimes take me a long time to generate a final draft, but a first draft should come out pretty quickly, because even though nobody likes to be told writing is rewriting, when you are actually a writer, writing is all rewriting. And it's bliss. The rewriting part is actually bliss. I first became part of the Sierra Madre Playhouse when my husband was cast in Our Town there. And Our Town is definitely my absolute favorite play ever. And I got to see my husband play the stage manager in it. And it's an interesting theater. You know, it has its own history. And the theater has really grown over time. Christian became more and more involved as artistic director and has changed the quality of productions that are done there. And then when COVID-19 occurred and the theater went on this sort of forced hiatus, they were still keeping their energy alive online. And because I'm part of our little COVID-19 pod here, I got swept into that at the Sierra Madre Playhouse as well. They've been doing beautiful work there with their marquee. I don't know if you know about the Sierra Madre marquee, but look it up online. It's beautiful. The Final Tour is actually a full-length play, and the Sierra Madre Playhouse is doing a 10-minute excerpt from one of the scenes. I started this play a long time ago, and I grew up playing classical piano from the age of 7 until about 18. And one of my heroes was Vladimir Horowitz. So apart from listening to his albums and listening to his music, I started to become more and more fascinated with his life. And he had a very complicated, tormented life. He is a representative of a degree of virtuosity and genius that we don't commonly see in the world anymore. And it was a degree of genius that required a lot of sacrifice on the part of his own personal life, but also the life of his family around him. And I don't know, I was beguiled by that, and I chose to start writing about his relationship with his wife. And in the play, they are the product of many different languages, English being the last one of them. So I have them speaking English, but it's a English that's slightly fractured and poeticized by the influence of Russian, Italian, French, Czech. It's all in there somehow. I think the family that houses a virtuoso, that houses a genius of the degree that Vladimir Horowitz was in his lifetime, I think the family sacrifices a lot of personal happiness to support that genius. They can't have a typical family. And in this scene from Final Tour, I would want audiences to get a sense of the degree of sacrifice that contributes to artistic genius in our lives. This theater festival is crucial for theater because theater artists will all tell you, we've been hearing it for decades, that theater is dead, or that theater is in peril, or that people won't go to theater. And in this crazy chapter of global history that we're in, when we're not even allowed to share the same room, theater still finds its way of surviving. And I think it's that seed of theater, keeping that seed safe and durable, that ensures that theater will endure beyond this chapter that we're in, as made manifest by this festival. I think the reason why people must see the Final Tour in this festival is because what defines small theater in LA are not the young upstart theaters that happen in the new energy that comes to Los Angeles and finds expression in small theaters, but it's also seasoned elder actors who are also committed to small theater. And in Final Tour, you get to see Angie Bird and Larry Eisenberg performing alongside Kurt Kanazawa. And they bring a lifetime of theater experience to these roles. So you'd be able to see really seasoned theater folk alongside all of the new, younger, more experimental theater pieces that are being done. Over the past 10 years, the Sierra Madre Playhouse has become a cultural hub of Sierra Madre, which is, a smaller town as compared to Pasadena and next door, but still vital, still important. And if you attend shows at Sierra Madre Playhouse, it is challenging its community, reflecting its community, addressing the diversity that is not immediately apparent in its community, but there and thriving. So theater is always going to be a mirror of the community that it lives in, whether it's on entertainment value and just getting together and having a good time, or whether it is challenging the minds of the people in the community and asking them to expand their vision of the world. And I think that kind of performance keeps communities alive and thriving and vital. That's why people should go to the Sierra Madre Playhouse. If you enjoyed this teaser about the Final Tour, I'd encourage you to do two things. One of them would be to Google Vladimir Horowitz and listen to some of his music. It's extraordinary. And the second thing is to go to the festival website, click on the link, and check out the play. It's 10 minutes long, and you're going to have a great time. It's funny, it's smart, and you'll see some great acting.